Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. It's California Cutie. Welcome to Club California Cutie, where everybody is invited and they are VIP. All right. You already know what it is. It's always a party and a good time at Club California Cutie. So if you're new here to my channel, please subscribe because we are growing our channel over here. Cuties, let's get it, okay? Make sure your notification bells uh the notification bell is on. The notification, right? The bell is on all so you don't miss any of my uploads or when I go live, like right now. Okay. And make sure to share my channel with your peoples. Okay. So you see, my girls are on the screen. We are here to get into Belle Collective season 7, episode 3. Squab-Belle up. Squab-Belle up. Okay. So hit that like button and let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. Let me put myself on the screen. Let me do that. Let me do that. Let me do that. Come on now. Here I am. Let's do it bigger. Hey, hey, y'all. What's going on? What's going on? Okay. And let me also put my banner up because the last time I was here, I did not have my banner up. And I was like looking at my stuff. I said, now, where was my banner? Okay. So, yeah, welcome to my channel, guys. Thank y'all for joining me. Your girl is getting into some things, y'all. I'm getting into some things. I am actually almost monetized. And I'm trying to, like I said, grow my channel. I'm trying to get my cutie click together, trying to get my cutie click together. So, we're trying to do that. And so that's where I'm at with it. And so, yeah, we are definitely going to get into some things. Oh, I got someone in the chat. It's my God. How you know I went live, my love? Look, I wasn't even trying to go live, which is the funny part. And I know you put in my chat that you don't even watch Belle Collective. So, Christine, thank you for joining me because I love when you're in the building. You always show me the love. And like I said, look, she's been part of the cutie clique for a long time, y'all. Like day oneer, okay? So y'all need to get like Christine and y'all need to do what she do, which is jump in this chat, say hello, and let's get a little convo, a little conversation going on, okay? Thank you, Christine, for joining me. Love you, miss you. Thank you for joining me again. I just love that you're here, okay? This is an impromptu live because I thought I was doing a recording and it wouldn't let me go back and record. So I said, you know what? Let me just do a live. And if you was here for my last review, you'll know that it is a part 1 and a part 2. That's because your girl is struggling. Okay, your girl is struggling. I couldn't pay my StreamYard advanced stuff, and so I'm on some regular schmegular StreamYard stuff. So that's why I don't have an intro or none of that. They won't let me get into my stuff. It's still there, but yeah, I'm not about to pay for all that. Not in this economy. Not the way the president set this economy up. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So, like I said, y'all. Oh, I love you so much. Let me put it that. It's day one, always and forever. Come on now. Let them know. Let them know that you're a day oneer and always and forever. I love it so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I love you back. I love you back. I love all of my subscribers, even the ones that leave me not even a bad review, but just don't agree with something I said, and or have took something I said in my chat and was like, if you trying to grow your subscribers, why would you say what you said? Now, let me tell y'all something. He took this guy, I think his name is Kevin too, not to be confused with my baby Kevin Reynolds, but another Kevin came into my chat. I was talking to my boy Kevin Reynolds, and we were in the same chat on somebody else's channel. And so Kev said to me, my subscriber says to me, hey, Cutie, I seen you in the chat and the chat was blowing up. And I was like, I know. And so he says, yeah. So I asked him, I said, put in the chat, what happened. Don't worry about everybody else in the chat. Now, new Kevin, who wants to tell me that, you know what, it's weird for you to be growing your channel and you're not worried about everybody else in your chat. I said, sir, sir, Kevin, new hopefully subscriber, still hopefully you came back. I was not trying to offend not one person in my chat. All I was saying is that me and Kevin Reynolds was in our chat, in another person's chat, and we know what was going on. And so for anybody that's in my chat that see Kevin and I having a conversation about that, please don't worry about it. So there's always that. There's always when you go live or when you have something to say like I do. Somebody's gonna disagree or misunderstand what is going on. But that's not here nor there. I'm just saying I still love him. I'm still sending him some love. I hope he comes back because it literally was not what he thought it was. And this is something you have to go through when you go live. And I plan to go live a lot more because I'm almost monetized. Okay, cutie. Okay, I'm sorry. I get real prone when I say that. Okay. Yes, please and do, and please and do, and thank you so much. Please, please, please hit that note. Hit it. Hit that thing. And Christine, you've been with me long enough. Let me know. I know you're not in my chat all the time, but let me know if you want to be one of my moderators because I would love to have you. I know you always have my back. I know you always mean well, and I know you can get the haters out of here real quick, especially when I get monetized. So I'm gonna kind of need your ass. Okay. All right, I just want to put that out there. All right, let me get into the lecture at hand, which is these ladies right here, the Bill Collective. You know what I mean? It's season 7. And just for you guys, I know you guys, I'm 1 week behind, but that's because I'm booked and busy. And sometimes I need, a little breather for all the shows that I watch during the week, right? And so with that, I'm always like a week behind. So the new one, episode 4, came on Friday. Today is Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. And so today is Monday. So I am doing the one from the week before, but I do got you guys covered. I did write my notes and give my notes for episode 4. So I'm ready to go as soon as this live is over. Okay. So y'all stay tuned. Stay tuned. Let me know what's going on. Okay. Aw, I love it. Thank you so much. I'm going to make sure that I do this. Okay. Oh, you're so sweet. I'm honored that you are always here and always showing up and showing out for me. I really appreciate it so much. Okay. All right. So yeah, y'all, let me get back. That's my girl. That's my baby. I love her so much. All right. So let's get back to the squabble up. Okay. I was like, yeah, okay. So y'all know we picked up right back where we were at the end of they keep doing these continue to be continued. So with that, we pick up right back in the parking lot with Letitia and Latrice, and Latrice calling what's her name? Letitia, who you calling her B? She walked up on her. And it's so funny. I said in the last review, I said Latrice was ready. That fool didn't even back up. She didn't flinch when she said what she said. Letitia walked up on her and like Latrice did not move. I think she knew that. Look, we on TV. She's not gonna swing. She's not gonna touch me, and she better not, because that's not even. It's uncalled for. Let's not swing. Let's just use our words, okay? So, yeah, like I said, she stood her ground, and I kind of am glad that Cliff wasn't there, because if Cliff would have been there, even though I know Cliff would have held his wife, said, you know what, Latrice, you're going too far. Come here, and he would have pulled her away. But I just always like think about what if Cliff wasn't in Columbia? Man, that would be a whole different story. So anyway, all the girls jumped in between Tisha and Latrice. You know, production must they always gonna cut out everything. Like they don't give us everything, which I don't like because it's too much for us to not know and then form an opinion and not like literally take sides, but take sides. You know what I mean? What you say, sis? Letitia reminds me of Letitia from Love and Marriage Huntsville, shaking my head. Try to understand them, but always work my nerves. Now, here's the thing. I know since you don't watch them, but I know that you've been watching some of my reviews. The first episode, Letitia Pearson has her own, she's trying to shoot her own pilot of her own talk show. And guess who her first guest was? I'll wait. I'll wait. It was exactly who you just said. It was Letitia Scott. And it's funny because I feel the same way. They are cut from the same cloth and they treat their husbands and put them on a pedestal and they take a back seat to that. And I know Letitia Pearson on this show has looked up to Letitia Scott because remember Letitia Scott was a housewife and then she, finally got out of her came out of her shell. So, I love that you can see that because literally they are one and the same person. Right? Side eye too. I was side eyeing too. I was like, you should be trying to do a whole lot, girl. Pick a lane and go in that lane and drive fast without crashing. Can you do that? Like literally, can you do that for the peoples? So anyway, we did hear Latrice say she ain't crazy. Mom ain't crazy. She ain't crazy. I say, girl, she not crazy, and neither are you. So stop acting like you want her to swing because you know you don't. So Tamber walks Latrice off. Latrice says that Letitia is a compulsive liar. Tamber says, we know. We know. I say, Tamber, you still harboring those feelings about when Letitia and Marie got in contact with what was that your ex or something, and he tried to slander your name, and they went on his side without talking to La Belle. Okay, so I ain't mad, and I think that Temper is holding a grudge because I noticed that when we talk about when they're talking about like I'm sitting in there with them, when they're talking about the situation at hand, Temper just sits back and listens. She doesn't say, come to Letitia's defense. She just really sits there and listen, observe, and then when she needs to speak, it's usually something towards Latrice because that's who you know, who she's around. But I literally was like, I'm feeling away. I'm feeling away. I'm feeling some vibes. I'm feeling like Timber's not, here on. She's not riding no fence, as you will. She's not riding no fence. She's let it to me. It's known that she's on the tree side. Y'all can get in my comments and tell me if y'all see something different. But this is what I see. Okay. So in the confessional, Selena can't believe that the girls are showing their asses at her 50th birthday party. I'm like, Selena, what did you expect? Selena, you know the girls are at odds. I know you are an elder now that you are on the side of 50, if you will, because I'll be 54 this year. So, like, literally, welcome to the 50s. And I know you feel like a matriarch, but you knew this was not going to be a good idea. At least I think I know that you knew this wasn't going to be a good idea. So yeah, literally, I just want to know what was she expecting from these ladies. So those girls are not ready for resolve at all, not in this moment. And there's a lot of he said she said going on. Y'all know he said she said is just like juvenile. Uh, elementary, if you will. It's just you guys are way too old to be doing what y'all doing. So anyway, Shantae went to go grab Glenn to tell him that Tisha was getting into a fight with Latrice. Glenn comes out looking for Tisha, going through the crowd because now a lot of the ladies, there's a lot of the party outside in the parking lot. I'm like, what in the hell are y'all doing? Y'all supposed to be in the party, having a good time, and y'all out here in the parking lot, like, woo, like, no, what is going on? I'll tell you what I think about Carrie in a second. Carrie has her shoes off in the dirty parking lot. That pissed me off. If you don't put your shoes back on, I don't care if they hurting your feet. You are in the parking lot. It's different if you're sitting at the table and you got your shoes off and you got your feet kicked up and you're trying to rub them together like you on the bed. That's different. But we talking about you in the parking lot on gravel. If you don't put your shoes on. Tisha tells Glenn Latrice said that she, Tisha, contacted some of Latrice's ex-employees. Some of, not one of, some of, right? Tisha walks over to Latrice and tells her she's never contacted any of her ex-employees. Latrice says, you did call Josh. She said, I ain't gotta lie about nothing. So she proceeds to call Josh, her ex-employee, which is really like one of her close friends, if y'all remember. It's not an ex-employee, this is one of her good friends who used to stand up to her husband when he was stepping out of line. So this was one of her friends, one of her Kikis, one of her good Judies. Anyway, Josh picks up the phone. Latrice asks him, Latrice is on the phone with her old ex good Judy. Latrice asks him, did Tisha contact you? Josh answered, yes. Letitia, uh, Letitia, you contacted me. And instead of Letitia getting mad and saying, I ain't contact you, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, prove it. She asked in her soft voice, Josh, when did I contact you? I said, see, no. I said, that's a lie right there. Because if you lying on me, I'm about to get in that ass. I'm about to get all up in there. You're not about to lie on me. So to me, you told on yourself in the way that you were passive. You weren't even passive aggressive. You was very passive in the way you asked him. So I was like, yeah, nah. So looking at all the other girls' faces, when Josh said, yeah, you contacted me. It made Letitia look bad to me. And I think and everybody else, the record starts rip. Like, wait a minute. Why would he say that? And he got, I don't know. I'm not saying I believe Josh completely, but what I am saying is, what benefit does he get out of telling Latrice that Letitia called him? I feel like it doesn't matter who called who. How long was y'all on the phone? What was y'all talking about? Right? Tisha tries to show the girls on the phone something that will try to clear up the lie happening right before everyone's eyes. By this time, half the parking lot has the party in it. Like, the party is outside now, right? I caught that too, Letitia lying. The lies, the lies, the lies. In our candy voice, okay? No, literally. Like, she could, the lies was coming so fast, she didn't know what to do. She was like, especially when you start talking baby voice. Same thing with Wendy Osefo on Housewives of Potomac. You hit that baby voice, you know you lying. Stop talking like that. Stop the baby talk. Ain't nobody got time for that. We all see through that. Anyway, Marie says this, and this called her. She was like, this called me off guard. I mean, what the hell is this? I was like, Marie, shut up. You caught your ass off no damn guard. You've been hoping, wishing, and praying on this to happen on your good girlfriend Tisha. I'm gonna tell you why. You know why? Because she really haven't forgave Letitia for really coming. I ain't gonna say to her rescue, but just picking a side if you will, when Latrice and Marie was in their tay-to-tay. So yeah, it's looking like Marie is like, you know what? I'm just gonna hell up out of it. That's what I'm gonna do. Back up and stay up out of it. And I can't be mad at that. Wait, would you say production sent everybody outside, right? No, they did. They really sent everybody outside. They was like, hey y'all. I don't know if y'all know, but there's something going on outside. If y'all want to go outside and go see what's going on, y'all go here. Go be innocent bystanders. Don't get too close, but let's be innocent bystanders. Okay. So anyway, yeah. So Latrice, like I said, she was trying to. I mean, Letitia was trying to show somebody something on the phone, and so Letitia's like, "Yeah, Josh, I did not contact you." No. She was like, "Yeah, Josh, I did not reach out to you." No, Tisha shows Latrice on her phone where she said Josh reached out to her. She on her phone on the text thread. Why you ain't showed us where you guys talked on the phone? Text thread is different. He said Tisha called him, right? So Tisha shows Latrice in her phone where she said Josh reached out to her. Josh said, I did not contact you, girl. You called me. Called. Okay. Before Tisha can plead her case, Glenn steps in and told Tisha, that's Latrice employee. You don't have a chance in this. Like, let's go. Like, trying to, kind of pull her away. Latrice calls Tisha a compulsive liar. Yeah. He's looking about you a liar. I don't know about compulsive, but I do know that you are lying. She says um, Latrice. So I said she. Latrice says I'm gonna need them to get a real business so they can know how and understand how business really works. I'm like, what does business got to do with what y'all talking about? But anyway, I guess she reached out to your ex-employee in this matter. Okay. Letitia says they are lying on her. Glenn pulls her away from everyone, reminding her that Letitia, you have a brand. You have a brand that he don't support. You have a brand. I said, boy, get out of my face. Anyway, in the confessional, Tisha says that this right here, this right here, this right here is why I married Glenn. I said, because what? She said, because he always has my back. I said, girl, way back. Tisha walked over to Latrice and told her the problem is Latrice talks about everybody you're surrounded by. I was like, okay, so dish out the tea. Who she talking about in the bells? Who she talking about? I just need to know who she talking about. Latrice said, who? Who I'm talking about? Tisha pointed out two, not one, but two other ladies that are not part of the Bell Collective that are standing there. Because remember, the party is out there now. She pointed out two of the ladies and said, oh, I know everything about you and you. I said, That's a party foul. That is a party foul. How the hell you gonna put this girl on blast about her two friends that's not part of the Blood Collective? Girl, I said, uh-oh. So anyway, one of those ladies stepped in Tisha's face and said, and I know everything about you. I said, girl, see what you did? You opened up a can of worms and you opened up you wrote a check that your ass can cash. And see, this is why you don't do like that. Especially if they ain't part of the Bell Collector. They had to pull that girl mic off, pull the mic, the boom mic, they had to pull it off. They had to pull that thing back. They was like, oh, you know what? She's not getting paid to talk, and she's coming at one of the bells. So, like, literally, I was happy and thankful that security was out there, but I was like, Tisha, don't don't throw people under the bus like that. That ain't cool. Whew. So anyway, Glenn jumped in and grabbed Tisha, saying to the lady that was like, I know everything about you. He was like, Shorty, Shorty, don't walk up on my wife. And he was like, bro, back up. I was like, wait a minute, bro. So, production being not even shady. I know you can only give us so much, but y'all need to give us a little bit more so we know exactly kind of what's really going on. But anyway, we'll get back to it. And I'm going to reiterate how they really need to stop giving us what they really want to give us and give us what y'all know we need to have. Excuse me. So anyway, he was like, oh, we good. We good. I was like, no, we ain't good. You losing your shit. And your wife brought in two ladies that she thought was just gonna be quiet when she said that. And that ain't how it really rolls. You don't get to pick and choose and see and say who can say what and how they gonna respond to you. So that was something she put herself in, right? Um, Carrie says nothing's gonna get resolved. She's telling Tisha, nothing's gonna get resolved tonight, Tisha. Like literally, let's go home. Like look, it's not gonna get resolved. Let's go home. Tisha really can't wrap her mind around what's just happened. She's never had that many girls coming at her and trying to fight her. I'm like, I don't know if everybody was trying to fight her, but yeah, when they got into it, when y'all really literally, when you think about it, yeah, they wasn't gonna be quiet for you. So in the confessional, Carrie says that she was looking around to see where Letitia's bestie was. That's Marie, and she was nowhere to be found in her opinion. But you know who was around? Carrie calls her security. I call her the guard dog. Shantae, Tisha's teenage friend. Speaking of Shantae, she asks Marie if she can be fair. Now they're still outside. They have separated the ladies. And Glenn has his wife. Carrie's over there. And then Marie, I think Latrice, Shantae, um, and Amanda, I think, was standing there. And so anyway, Shantae asks Marie if she could be fair. Latrice says she don't have to. That's her friend, talking about Letitia. Marie said she is for what's right. She can think for herself. Shantae asked Marie, will she call Letitia out if she finds out that Letitia reached out to Josh? Marie says, yes, I will call Letitia out. Carrie wants to go back so by this time, Carrie's not over there with Letitia because by this time, Carrie is over there with them, and Carrie wants to go back into the party. But funny, didn't you just tell Letitia, let's go home? So why you trying to call Maria for not you looking around and not seeing her? Well, you probably can't see her with all the other people that's out there. So the fact that you tried to call her out, and you went back into the party, side eye, side eye. And you say you trying to stay neutral. I don't know. She says she wants to see, let the chips fall where they may. I'm like, we're gonna see. I don't think anyone. I don't think anyone would have put their hands on Letitia. Shaking my head. Don't nobody want lawsuits and lose their coins. We're on a show. That's why I think Latrice didn't move. She's like, I wish the hell you would touch me. And it's caught on camera. You're right. Nobody's trying to lose their little coin. None of them. So yeah, girl. Oh, okay. Sorry, y'all. I lost my place. Okay, so Sorry, y'all. I'm really like trying to make sure that I didn't the way something just happened on my notes. I feel like I don't know what just happened. So anyway, let me go back to where I was. Shantae asked Marie, will she call Letitia out and find out if Letitia reached out to Josh? Marie says yes, she will talk to Letitia. Carrie wants to go back into the party, but like I said, I thought she told Letitia, let's go home. I said that Marie said let the chips fall where they may, but she also tried to diffuse it. So there's that. Carrie tells the ladies, let's go back into the party as Glenn and Tisha drive off. That's the end of that. That's what I was looking for, the ending. All right. So in the confessional, Letitia is crying and can't believe Latrice had all that smoke for her. And for what? For me, if you are so confused about why Latrice has so much smoke, why haven't you had a conversation with her? Like, if it's like so out of character, you don't understand what's going on, why haven't you just sat her down and said, hey, we need to talk? Like, y'all did this before, so I don't understand why she just didn't do that. So anyway, we get Letitia talking to Donald, her mentor. They're on the phone because we're now at Letitia's house because I guess it's the next day. So, he's her mentor and he's also her EP, her executive producer to the Letitia Pearson show, the pilot that she's trying to shoot around. And so they're talking about the editing and how to market, you know, her project. Letitia says they have a great work relationship and he pushes her to do things um, that she's never thought of before. So, he pretty much is helping her to broaden her horizons. And, I'm not mad at that at all. So, but here's the thing, this is the reason why Glenn wants her to stay home and be a housewife because um, in business, you don't get to really choose if you, well, I mean, you can, but it's going to be hard to just have all one gender business partner. Everything is ran by a woman. Say in Letitia's in the way she would have to run a business. I think Glenn will want her to have an all woman cast, uh, so that he doesn't have to worry about a man trying to get at her or watch her on her rise up and be like, you know what, Letitia's a good catch. So, you know, I don't know why Glenn has trust issues with her and that he's projecting, the way he moves on Letitia, in my opinion. So Letitia call is interrupted. She didn't say nothing to Donald, but her call is interrupted and she is it's Glenn on a FaceTime. So he says, I was just checking on you. She let him know she was just working. He sounds real supportive, like, okay, that's cool. I'm glad to hear you working and stuff. So in the confessional, Tisha talks about Glenn was her knight in shining armor, rescuing her from the hyenas. And I was like, yes and no, because literally you opened up the can of worms of the girls coming at you. You did that. Like Selena put you guys in this situation, and then you turned around and put other girls in this situation, and then you didn't know how that they were gonna respond, and you found out. So we get a graphic of Glenn in an armored suit, looking crazy. Latrice and Amanda as hyenas. So that's what they did. I was like, y'all are so funny. Sometimes Carlos King can be very corny. Letitia got to thanking Glenn, but in the confessional, she was like, thank you, baby. Thank you. I was like, shut up. Shut up. Letitia tells Glenn if he wasn't at Selena's birthday party, the girls would have jumped him and, because they was out for blood. I was like, girl, no, they weren't out for blood. They was literally responding or reacting to what you said to them. They ended the call, but not before I heard Glenn say, love you more, which means Letitia said she loved him. So she's like, stringing them along a little bit, right? Don't y'all think so? Um, so Marie drops in on Letitia to check on her because she feels bad about how Latrice and Letitia almost went to blows. Marie wants to know, how did these ladies get here? Because Latrice and Marie were the ones that were at odds, and they were the ones at each other's throat, for a few seasons. So yeah, I'm with you, Marie. How did we get here again? So Tisha says Latrice thinks that Letitia sent Shantae to talk to her at Carrie's birthday party. Drink my water. We all know that's not true. And even if she did send her, you could defend you told Shantae to get out your face. So literally you did what you needed to do. So even if that was the case, that's water under the bridge. So anyway, Letitia pulls out her phone to show Marie that Josh contacted her through text 2 years ago, March 2024. We're in March 2026, correct? Yes, we are. So they filmed this probably in last year, the end of the year. So that would be a prior, maybe a few months, 8 months or 10 months, when she would have showed her this text that Josh got in contact with her. So anyway, Tisha says that Josh contacted her because he was feeling a type of way about not being invited to events and having to work at Goddess Lengths. He wanted to expose Latrice on something. This is what Letitia says. So for me, that's messy work, because if that's the truth, why didn't you contact Latrice? If that's supposed to be your little sister and y'all in a sisterhood and y'all the Belle Collective, why didn't you go talk to her as soon as it happened? Like, girl, let me show you what Josh sent me. But no, you didn't. So that leads me to believe that you was plotting and scheming. Just saying. So anyway, Marie feels like she saw all the proof she needed when Letitia showed her that. So I feel like Marie has decided to pick a side. Shantae pulls up. She comes in the house and she has some flowers, real flowers, because she's a real friend, I guess. She brought Tisha some real flowers because y'all do know that Latrice sent some fake flowers for the fake friendship to the Friendsgiving. And see, yeah, that was November. So they're somewhere in November, Thanksgiving. I mean, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? Right, plotting and scheming. Yes, she is, and we see you, girl. Oh, you can't hide from us. We can see you very clearly. Okay, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles you put there. You did. You did that. So anyway, Shantae pulls up to Tisha's house with the fresh flowers. And she said, and here go Tisha. Oh, thank you, because everything in my life is just aligning. I said, is it? Is it? I can't tell, Tisha. Everything can't be lining up if you acting the way you acting with your husband. Girl, lies again. Anyway, Marie tells Shantae that they were just catching up about what happened at Selena's birthday party. So of course, guard dog Shantae, she starts off with uh she starts off at one point, huh, we were outside and literally it was just her and Tisha, telling Marie that it was just her and Tisha. I didn't know where you went, Marie. I said, okay. Guard dog. Marie had to tell her, I never left. Shantae got to rolling her eyes all up in her head. I said, girl, don't get stuck. It's not gonna be cute if your eyes is crossing in your head. That's not gonna be cute. So anyway, Marie says she tried to defuse it, and production shows us that she did try to defuse it. Marie said at the end of the day, it was 4-5 people coming at Letitia. What could she do? I love when she hit that little. Now, see, that's to me when she does sounds like this. She sounds like a Southern Belle without trying. What can I do? I said, girl, no, you're absolutely right. And again, to my freaking point, Letitia started it. She didn't have to say nothing to them girls. Girl, can't say nothing. So anyway, in the confessional, Letitia says that Shantae really had her back the entire time. Okay. And seeing Marie stick by Latrice after makes her really confused. Now, that's a good point. Okay, that's a good point because when Letitia and Glenn drove off, but remember, I said earlier that Carrie said, "Hey, let's just go home," but she stayed after the party. And then now we're hearing that Marie stayed after the party, which means she stayed and hung out. She, I don't, production doesn't show us everything. Marie might have went and checked on her and said, "Okay, get home safely," and whatever. Don't know. We didn't see it. So Tisha is confused again on, she's questioning Marie's friendship. And she even says, does Marie even like Latrice? I said, now see, here you go. Here you go. So Shantae says, in that moment, it should have been us, talking about Letitia, Shantae, and Marie against them, Latrice and her friends. Marie says, that's not her battle. She's like, that's not my battle. Shantae said, it's not my battle either, but that's my girl, talking about Tisha. Marie says, that's my girl too, but where was Letitia when Latrice and I were into it? I told you. I told y'all she was holding a grudge. I told y'all. We get production showing clips of where Letitia was uh going to bat for Latrice. And we also get Marie saying, yeah, that same bat that you are going that you're using to go, to bat for her, I hope she don't turn around and use it on you. I said, uh-oh. So Letitia, you didn't get into it when we were going back and forth. That's what Marie told her. In the confessional, Letitia says, when Latrice and Marie were into it, she was in the middle, but she feels like Marie has been holding a grudge against her. Feeling like she feels like she took Latrice's side when Marie and Latrice are now into it. I said, uh-oh. So the guard dog, Shantae said, all she know is nobody's gonna get ready to play with my friend. Tisha says she don't need nobody to have her back because she's covered and favored. Is that why you keep thinking your knight in shining on? Is that why you just said like 5 seconds ago that Shantae had her back the entire time? Mm. You be covered and favored all you want. Stop opening the can of worms your behind ain't ready for. Don't do that no more. It's not cute. And yeah, you don't get to tell people how they can respond or react to you. It's stupid. So anyway, she tells Shantae she appreciate what she did for her. Shantae says she's just doing what I know you would do for me. Oh, like, Tasha tells Marie she appreciates her and staying out there. I'll say, yeah, because she did stay out there. So we head over to Latrice's house where Latrice is gonna host a redo of Selena's 50th birthday party. She has invited Tambra, Marie, and of course the birthday girl. In the confessional, Latrice says, here's to a night of peace, blessings, and love without lie Tisha. I said, not like Tisha. Not like Tisha. So all the ladies arrived. Latrice apologized to Selena for what happened at the birthday party. The ladies pop open a bottle of champagne and they start chit-chatting. Latrice tells Marie she was sad that she didn't come visit her at the hospital. Marie says, well, girl, I did not know. Latrice tells her she has, blood clots. Latrice tells Marie she didn't know how serious it was until it happened. She was very ignorant about it. Uh, she is thankful that Tambra, Selena, and of course her husband was there by her side. And I was thinking, why she didn't say her mom, y'all? Her mom don't support her? Does the mom not live close nearby? I'm trying to figure that part out. Yes, I love her. It's nice getting to know Selena. I used to watch her on Dancing Dolls show when her daughters were on the squad. Me too, because my daughters love that show. So that was something me and my daughters watched together. And she's so beautiful and so bomb. I love her so much. Yes, the Bob is bobbing, baby. Yes, it is. And it's so funny because it's so like we literally, when we're going into another chapter, it's just so funny how we will change up our hair and do something different. And so I like her bob. I like her with long hair. I like her with the blonde hair. I like her with the dark hair. I like her. I just like her. I just like her. So, anywho, I say she is thankful that's Tamra Selena, and of course her husband was by her side. And I already said I was wondering where her mom was. Marie brings up that Latrice could have lost her life and how precious life is to be arguing, bickering, fussing, and freaking fighting, like literally, right? So Latrice says, "Oh, I gotta sneeze, y'all." That would have been loud in y'all ear. I'm so glad I caught it. I hope I caught it. It just tickled my nose. So anyway, Latrice says she doesn't let people get her out of her character. But that night, she had a lot going on dealing with her health scare. Latrice feels like Letitia went over and beyond by contacting her ex-employees, especially disgruntled employees that she has fired. Marie asked if they're disgruntled, what is Letitia gonna get out of that? Latrice says she don't know. She just knows what she did. Marie says, how do you know she did it? What proof do you have, Latrice? Latrice says, the proof is because the employees told her. They told me. I'm like, okay. Tisha reached out, they told me Letitia reached out to her. I'm like, but if they your ex-employees, you fired them. How you know they got your best interest at heart all the goddamn sudden? That's just weird. So you trust your ex-employees more than you trust Tisha. Got it. I'm just putting it out there. I don't know if that's how it is. I'm just saying. Girl. So Marie wants to know how they gonna be the collective if they're gonna have, outside noise come in between them. Latrice says she doesn't let outside noise influence her. What are we talking about right now? She was like, Tisha. But that's exactly what you're doing. You letting outside noise influence what's going on in the collective. So y'all tell me, am I wrong? Am I tripping? Is she not understanding that she's the one that actually is bringing outside noise into the collective? The outside noise she says she doesn't listen to. That is so weird to me. That is so weird. But Latrice is not the sharpest tool in the toolbox. So I mean, it's not shocking. It's not shocking. She's a Portia, if you will, pretty, but don't always know the best things and when to talk and when not to talk, and she doesn't make all the best decisions. So anyway, Marie feels like if she and Latrice got through what they got through, that Letitia and Latrice should be able to get through what they was going through. Latrice says, nope, this is way worse. Selena says she wished that they could just lay everything out on the table, just lay it all on the table so we can get through it. Latrice says she doesn't trust Letitia anymore. So Latrice says they can be in the same space as long as her husband don't come up to her and say anything. I was like, uh-oh. So you have it out for Letitia, but you have it out worse for Glenn. I'm just going over, my assessment. And she was like, yeah, so as long as Glenn don't come over and say anything, then they're good. So we head over to Carrie and Matt's house, and we see their beautiful kids, Jules and Joy. They're 9 and 10, and then she was doing, I don't know if her name is Jean. I think it's Jean. And she's also 10, so she's part of a set of twins, I believe. Uh, Carrie's parents come over, Eleanor and Robert. They came over to bring Carrie's family some home cooked food because Carrie is very, very, very busy. She runs her own restaurant, and so she's hardly home to cook her household a good meal. And so mom understands, and so she brought her some home cooked food. Right, that's great. I love that for her. So of course, Matt is like, thank you, because I need it. Look, I need the good substance. I'm tired of going out all the time. And Carrie's like, bro, you don't go out all the time. He's like, yeah, but we go out a lot. So of course, Carrie wants to tell her mom and dad about the bullshit that's going on with Latrice and Letitia. She also shares with her parents that the new location of Brick and Spoon in Alabama is not doing so well, or not doing as well as the two stores that's in Mississippi. Carrie's not used to her businesses, any of her businesses failing. She bought into this Brook and Spoon, and it was already there at that location already. So, she says the owner didn't put the TLC into the restaurant like she does in her restaurants in Mississippi. So Carrie and her business partner did some renovations, and her mom said, "Well, that's nice, but you might have to sell that thing." Carrie don't want to take the loss, and I can understand that. Because especially after you put this money into it for renovation, I understand that she does not want to take this loss. But um, Terry, Carrie tears up because she has the two successful businesses in Mississippi, and she's struggling in Alabama. And so her mom said, "That's how you learn. That's what make you strong." Carrie says, "Well, shoot, I'm weak right now," as she leans into her husband's chest, like, ugh. And she says, "Let me be weak." Her mom said, "I didn't even raise you like that, so stop." Carrie is looking for some sympathy from her parents, but yeah, her mom is not giving it to her. Her mom is not giving it to her. And that's why Carrie, you can see the balance on how Carrie carries herself and how she was brought up. Both her parents were entrepreneurs. Uh, Basically, her mom had her own business when basically women didn't have a lot of women weren't in business. And then I think her dad coached her when she was playing basketball and stuff like that. So that's why Miss Thang, Carrie, has the way she is you can see it through her parents, I think. But I like Carrie. She and I think if I'm not mistaken, my girl Christine asked me how did I feel about Miss Carrie. I enjoy Carrie. I enjoy Carrie. She's a pleasant um addition to the cast. I really miss Aikisha and so Gucci as well. I wish they didn't have to leave and exit. And I wonder with Glenn and Cliff not breaking up. Ooh, child, here I go. Start rumors with their friendship going to where it's at. I wonder how Willie would have dealt with this. So anyhow, let me get back to my notes. Uh, Letitia and her mother Yolanda have some much needed mother and daughter time. They went to a ceramic store to get, their creative juices flowing. I love that kind of stuff. I love when they show us different, like mom and pop little stores, if you will, small businesses that, that you might not know about that's in the neighborhood. So she took her mom there so they can do mother and daughter time and, you know, do some creative stuff. So Letitia's mom has rheumatoid arthritis, so she's always concerned about her mom, and I can empathize with that because my mom has that as well, and so does my grandmother. So I definitely empathize with that, and I'm hoping I don't get it because I'm a braider and I've been braiding over 30 years now. So my fingers are always moving. So I know I'm gonna have some type of arthritis. I just hope it's not the rheumatoid because that is painful. And Letitia's mom even said she had got 5 shots that day. She felt like she went to surgery. I said, "Girl, you did. You definitely did." So Letitia thanks her mom for adding her to her credit card because Letitia now has her own credit card. What? what? What are you talking about right now? You've been in our face for 7 seasons, telling us that you have a business where you uplift and uphold women and doing brunches in celebration of, and you didn't have a credit card? Mm. That is unheard of. That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. Anyway, Letitia tells her mom she is so focused on getting stuff done for herself. She's been under Glenn's fingertips for so long. Yeah, y'all been together since you've been in high school, girl. And he's been like literally, I don't know if he's been intentionally holding you back, but he's been holding you back. And I'm so sad that it took you so long to figure this out. My God. Josh is about to get his own credit card, their son. He's about to get his own credit card and be driving and having his own business in a minute. Girl, you late. Anyway, she want to make sure that every decision she makes from here on out, she's making them according to how she feels and what she wants to do. She wants to move not in solidarity, but she wants to move without, I guess, like a daddy figure over her. Her dad is alive, but Glenn treats her like that's her father. No, buddy, you're not. Stop doing that. I can't stand husbands that do that. And I don't care what your morals and what you was brought into. Well, I saw my parents doing. You are not your parents. You are you, and she is she. And y'all got to figure out if this works for y'all. And it's not working. So you want to figure it out. So Yolanda says, uh, when Letitia got married to Glenn, she told her to get her own bank account, but she knows that Glenn was not going for that. Her mom says she didn't say nothing at that time because she recognized Tisha was trying to be the perfect wife, so she let her be. Yolanda, come to the front, Yolanda, because you know there ain't no such thing, Cletus, as no damn perfect wife. Perfect marriage, perfect relationship. There's nothing perfect about nothing. Okay. So for you to not tell your daughter, look, I know what you're trying to be. I know you're trying to be this perfect wife that is non existent. I'm going to need you, even if you have to give me money to the side, I'm going to need you to put money to the side. I'll hold it for you, especially if Mr. Glenn didn't want her to have a bank account and hold her back. Yeah, you should have been like, well, look here, I'm going to have you give me money and I'll set you up a bank account. You should have did that years ago. That's weird. Because when I think back, Letitia said there was one time that her and Glenn had broke up and Glenn left her penniless, basically, like with $1 and something in the bank account. And you didn't learn then? No, no, no. So anyway, she tells Tisha, uh, you have to have your own at some point. Letitia says she chose peace and a joint bank account over having her own and making Glenn upset. Girl, Glenn would have been upset. Glenn could have, I would have bought him a punching bag. You upset? Let me buy you a punching bag so you can go out back and you can go punch this bag and get your frustrations out, Bookie. Anyway, Tisha asked her mom, how does she feel about the recommitment? to Glenn. Her mom said she went only in support of Letitia, but she didn't really want to be there. Letitia says, uh, tells her mom she doesn't even remember that day. She says she feels like she said what she thought Glenn wanted to hear. I'm like, damn. So you just been lying to lie on a lie with a lie, right? That means you've been lying. You've been lying the whole time to Glenn, and you wonder why your relationship is not doing well. And you're trying to blame it on Glenn. Mm-mm. It took both of you guys to get married. It's going to take both of you guys to get divorced if y'all choose to. And it's going to take both of y'all to say that there's some fault on both ends, okay? It's weird. Clip. Her mom says sometimes that's good if that's going to get you out of whatever you need to do better for yourself. I said, oh, so your mom is the one that's been telling you to go ahead and lie if it's going to get you it's going to get you to the next level or the next step. If you got to lie, cheat, steal, step on your husband to get to the next spot, do that. And I'm like, ooh, that didn't really sound good. That's how I took it. Like literally, I was like, mm-mm. Mind y'all, I'll get to it. Anyway, what I say, her mom said sometimes that's good if that's gonna get you out of whatever you need to do to better yourself. But make sure that's what you're doing it for. And like I said, I don't know if that was the best advice. Yolanda's been married. Her mama has been married 6 times. So we know Letitia doesn't get staying with a man when things go wrong from her mother. And I'm like, your mom been married 6 times and you've been married once. I'm not judging. I don't care. But I'm just trying to figure out what makes Letitia want to stay in a marriage when she watched her mom jump in and out of marriages when, like Letitia said, her mama's husbands couldn't do nothing wrong. They couldn't step out of line a little bit. One false move and that's it. Out of there, okay? So Tisha asked her mom, how did she know when it was time to get out of the marriage? Her mom said she really can't explain it. You get to a point where you just don't give a damn. But everyone is different. Only you know when it's time to get out of your relationship. Now that's get related. That makes sense. Letitia tells her mom that she came to the decision that she is just gonna keep Glenn out of her professional life, and that's just what it is. Her mom said, "Fine." No, she said, "Fine by me." I said, "Ooh, you sound like the color purple." Letitia tells her mom that Glenn is freaking out. He don't want to just talk over the phone. He wants her. He wants her to call him on FaceTime. Her mom said, you should call him on FaceTime and have a man laying right there beside you. Letitia started laughing. Yolanda says, go ahead and satisfy his curiosity then. Then he'll quit calling. I said, uh, Yolanda don't like him. Let's just be clear. She don't like him. Now, at least she don't like him for her daughter. Yolanda says she really don't have anything against Glenn, but she does feel like he holds Letitia back. Her mom said if someone really loves you, they really want to see you win. They won't they want to see you, get to the top and not hold you back. Sometimes you have to think about you, Letitia. I mean, you should have been told her that part. Like, anyway, Letitia says that's exactly where she's at. Letitia says it's, and it feels amazing. I'm thinking about myself and it feels amazing. I say, yeah, let's see. Let's watch. Letitia feels like she is putting action behind her words and she's walking in motion and she feels good about it. I said, girl, when you're sitting here with your mama, you feeling good and you telling yourself what you're doing. But when you get in front of Glenn, you kind of drop the ball. Just saying. They finished their ceramic pieces. Letitia picked out the word love, and when she picked out love, I was like side eyeing it at first, but she colored it and she gave it to her mom. Her mom made a plate, a little plate you will sit up, decorative plate, and she tells Letitia she's giving it to her. And when she knows that Letitia's had enough, she can break this plate. I was like, not y'all becoming what is the nationality? It's what oh my gosh, I can't even think, and it's right on the tip of my tongue what Angie K is. Y'all know the ones that opa and break the plates. Greece. She's from Greece. Okay. Anyway, so Letitia says that is a great idea, and they high five. Mom says she's gonna love it when she breaks that plate. So we head back over to Latrice's house. Before we do that, make sure you guys hit the like button, playback gang. Make sure that you are doing all the things. I appreciate you guys for being here. I love y'all so, cuties. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So anyway, Amanda is over to help Latrice cook a meal because Cliff is coming back from his guy's trip to Colombia. Amanda thought she was coming over for some girl time. Girl, no. By the time she got over there, Latrice had already put her to work. Latrice is feeling the stress of everything that's going on with her. So she is looking forward to Cliff coming home and him being her refuge. Y'all, when I tell y'all, this fool Latrice cooked her husband, who has been out of the country, a meal with everything expired. Shit, the steak probably had freezer burn on it, y'all. Like literally everything she picked up. She had some instant potatoes, expiration, they expired. Here's my thing. She had pre-cooked shrimp. I was like, how you gonna get seasoned on a pre-cooked shrimp? It's already cooked. So what you pre-cooked shrimp? I hope it wasn't freezer burning. I hope it wasn't expired. And then I think she said she was making green beans, maybe. I think they was expired. Child, the butter was expired. And so Amanda is like, girl, why wouldn't you just have the potatoes, cut up the potatoes, y'all make mashed potatoes from scratch. Baked potatoes, baked potato, a potato, peel it, cut it. You can also put it in the water, boil it, then peel it because it's all soft and easy to come off. Either way, mash them up, put some milk and butter in it, season it. She was like, I ain't never made potatoes from scratch. I say, girl, that's not even from scratch. It's potato. I see why she got a restaurant. Maybe Cliff can get his food from there all the time. I don't know, because I just don't understand how she don't even know how to make mashed potato from scratch. So anyway, in the confessional, Latrice says she did make the meal with love, and then she chuckled. She was like, "But everything was expired." I was like, "Yeah." Cliff makes it home. Amanda, she exits stage left. She ends up leaving so that they can enjoy their expired meal. Cliff says he is surprised to see Latrice in the kitchen, as he should be. You better pray over your food, buddy. Maybe he should leave once a month so that he can get a home cooked meal. If you do that, sir, I'm gonna need you to make sure you go buy the food you want and that it is not expired. Okay? Cliff. Latrice asked Cliff how was his trip. He said it was fine until you called about the drama that you were involved in. Latrice says she's never confrontational and she never wants to fight. Never is a big word, and it's inaccurate. But she was like, basically, bitch, what's up? Chris says, you're too classy to be hollering bitch. And that's true. That's true. Chris says you're stooping to their level, and that's what they want. Latrice says, yeah, I definitely stoop to their level. She says Glenn somehow popped into this equation, and he, as a man, should have never stepped to the women. Cliff says the reason why he's attacking you is because he's about to lose his wife because he's fucking up. He's trying to save his marriage. Latrice says, well, don't come at me about your marriage. Cliff says he's a desperate man. Cliff said he can't hang with nobody like that. Cliff said, if Glenn thinks that he's going to be running up and arguing with women, Cliff said he's not tolerating that. He said, damn, damn, us being powerful Black people, we should come together and uplift each other, not destroy one another. They are trying to build legacy. So yeah, it doesn't even make sense. And he was like, yeah, we shouldn't be trying to kick each other while we're, kick each other down. I was like, yep, that boy is mushmouth, but he definitely have some things to say. Anyway, Latrice thinks that Letitia is conniving and a liar and basically can't be trusted, so she can't be around her. She says she is not about to be concentrating on none of the Bells. She is concentrating on her health. So she's not gonna be able to be cooking no elaborate meals for him. This is the last meal, a steak and whatever they eating. I said, yeah, if he don't pass away from the expired food. Cliff said he should have stayed in Columbia. Okay, right? So we head over to the Pearsons' home. Glenn brings home some pizza, find out that's his favorite food. He goes in to kiss Tisha, and she gives him the cheek. In the confessional, Tisha says things are still not where they need to be with Glenn and her, but that they are in a better space. I'm like, I really can't tell if you giving him your cheek and every time you go to kiss you, you're not trying to give him no kiss. Okay? It's just a kiss. My God. Anyway, Tisha Glenn says something about her giving her his cheek. Tisha's like, what? What you want? His fucking your freaking lips. He wants your lips. Okay. Glenn was like, never mind. Like, if you don't know, I don't know either, Tisha. Like, you can play coy all you want, but it's starting to wear thin with Glenn. And I'm not saying that Glenn is in the right, but what I am saying is either figure it out, Tisha. Figure it out. Because he's not going to stay in this limbo area that you got him in. He's not going to stay there for long. So anyway, Tisha playing stupid instead of being straight up with him. Letitia thanks Glenn again for having her back at Selena's party. She really appreciated it. Glenn said he's not going to let no one play in her face, ever again, in life. I was like, okay. Glenn is feeling left out because Letitia doesn't talk to him about her new ventures and, her work ventures, and it's kind of hard for him to accept where they are. He said they haven't had one conversation about her talk show. Glenn says, you're happy with that. You're happy with what you're doing. Letitia says, why wouldn't I be happy? You're not happy? You're not happy? Girl, no, he's not happy. Glenn said, do you think I'm gonna bring bad energy to you or something? Is that why I'm not in any of your meetings or any of your focus groups? He basically said she thinks he's brainless. That's he was saying. So what, you think I'm brainless? Tisha says, it's not about him. Like, how you get here? How we talking about you all of a sudden? Glenn says, I'm looking at it like, let's build together. You want to build alone. I'm like, yeah, it is looking like she's trying to build alone. It do. So he says, I'm going to be honest. I know my worth, and I know I'm more than Zick in a paycheck. You're worth more than Peen and a paycheck? Child. So that did catch Letitia off guard. She was like, I was like, yeah, he just laid that out. He just said that right out of his mouth. He said he is peeing in a paycheck. I heard him in my own 2 years. Um, so Glenn is sitting with Letitia and he says, the only time, oh, they're in a confessional. He said, the only time you give me affection or I get affection is when payday or Letitia is horny. I said, Lord. Ugh. So Glenn says he feels like she is doing this because she don't trust him, number one. And number two is she is, making her a little nest so that if Glenn mess up again, which he probably will, probably have, uh, that she set up so she can leave, not just leave him, but just leave. You know what I mean? So anyway, Tisha says, you just said you're not D peeing in a paycheck, so I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm saving up, for just in case. I said, "Ooh, not you telling her." Well, I mean, hey, we laying it all out on the line. He think you are peeing in a paycheck. I mean, he thinks you think he's peeing in a paycheck, and you think that I'm gonna cover my ass just in case you act an ass. I ain't mad. So Glenn says, when you do that for a just in case, that means you doubt everything that I'm doing. Letitia says, no, it simply means that it means that to her that they've been down this road before. Fool me once, shame on you, and fool me twice. Yeah, I'm not going through it. Like literally, that's basically what she was saying. So in the confessional, Letitia says a she is really doing what works for her, and it's not for everyone to understand unapologetically. I'll say, girl, hey, look, she's putting herself first. I'm not about to be mad at that. I'm gonna be mad if you don't just tell it and put it all on the line. Then I'm gonna be looking at you like, look, girl, you can't string him along. You gotta put it out on the line. And if you trying to make it work, you really got to put it on the line because how's he gonna know? So anyway, Glenn says, well, that's not gonna work for him. Uh he was like, does that matter, Letitia? Does it matter what I think or how I feel? Letitia says, okay, well, that's just what it is right now. Glenn says, you are a housewife. I was like, here he goes. Letitia says, what am I not? No, she says, what? I'm not that anymore. Letitia says, if she starts rising above a certain expectation that Glenn has for her, uh, Glenn wants to pump the brakes. Glenn said, do you think I put a ceiling over your head? Letitia says, she does. Letitia is done catering to Glenn and being in submission and being a housewife. She said it's time for her to cater to herself. She's a grown ass woman and he's a grown ass man, and this is what she wants to do. Glenn says, um, he brought it back to her EP, her mentor. He says, Donald's around and he's your EP. She just said, what's wrong with that? Glenn says, it feels like you are leaning towards another man when you have one already. That you already have one, meaning she has a man, she has a husband, and you're talking about you want to be self-sufficient, but you have an investor who is a man. Am I not enough? Glenn said he knows how men like that move. Do you now? Do tell, Glenn. Do tell. How do men like that move? Let us know. Let us in on the secret. So he says he's trying to sabotage. Wait, no. I think. Oh, I think he's trying to sabotage Letitia and Donald's friendship by saying what he said on the TV screen. Because Donald's gonna hear it, right? Right. Glenn says he thinks that Donald is gonna think Letitia owes him something, and he's not talking about percentage. Letitia asked Glenn, does he even trust her? Girl, Glenn dropped his head. I said, oh no, not you dropping your head. Not you dropping your head and not answering her. Letitia Said that's her answer. Letitia lays out her process and what she wants to do. Glenn is all ears. She says she is starting her own financial journey. She does want to take a few $1,000s out of their bank account to put into a separate account. She says she's been researching all this stuff, and Glenn says he doesn't have a problem with that. He says you. He says you should research how to. You should be researching how to trust in your husband again. Letitia said, I'll do that since you're being funny. Glenn said, I'm not being funny. I'm telling you how I feel. You take it as a joke. Letitia says, you said you're not money, you're not this, and you're not that. So that's why I choose. Well, I want to be celibate. I was like, what? You just told your husband you want to be celibate. You told Glenn. Sexual Glenn. You want to be celibate. In the confessional, Tisha says being celibate is more for clarity and understanding. She wants to make sure that she's making the right decisions and choices, and she's not being brain fogged while being brain fogged. Glenn said, "You want me to fail? I'm not gonna be here dry zick." I said, "Not dry peen." Whoa, hold on, hold on. You hold on. Hold on. hold on. Tisha is telling her husband she wants to be celibate. And Glenn is telling her he doesn't want to be dry pink. And that's crazy as hell. So he gets up and he gets up off the couch and he says he don't need to hear anything else she gotta say. Letitia said, Yep, won't let me finish. You won't let me finish letting you know what the plan is. Glenn says, Are you saying you don't want your husband? Tisha says, No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about energy. Glenn says, Go find some good energy, some good zit energy. And he walked out the door. Tisha says, he won't listen to what she is, trying to say. So she ends up calling him on the phone. Um, he is still in the driveway. He hasn't got far. He's in the driveway. She calls him. He's sitting in the truck. Letitia says, Are you being serious right now? While she's talking, while she's calling him. He hasn't answered the phone. Glenn says, like they're talking. They're not talking to each other, but Glenn says, You just said you got to be conscious of the energy that is going in you and all that dumbass stuff. Letitia tells Glenn if he leaves, she is done. So the phone disconnects. Glenn proceeds to pull his truck out the driveway and he drives off. And that is how they ended another to be continued. Okay. That's how they ended the episode. And I was just like, man, this is too much. Okay. Too much. Too much. I'm tired. I'm not tired. If I was tired, y'all would know I'm not tired. I'm just like, wow, really? I literally can't. I don't know how I would feel if my husband told me he would want to be celibate and then turn around and say, I'm worried about the energy that 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 that's near me or that you're putting on me. Ooh, that sounds witchy pooey. Like, ooh, I don't know. That would be so that would hurt my heart. That would hurt my heart. Literally. But yeah, y'all, that is the girls, the Belle Collective, episode 3. And we're in season 7, right? So let's do an applause for the girls. Okay. So yeah, we are done with that one. And yeah, it was something. I'm not mad at it at all. Oh, I didn't realize that I got myself this little I forgot. But yeah, y'all. So thank y'all for rocking with me today. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate my cutie click coming through. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. Make sure that you guys are have y'all bell on all on your notifications because we need as many people to follow me as possible, especially when I go live. Like I said, this was an impromptu live. I was really trying to do a recording. So I'm going to take my banner down in a hot second. Please follow me at my IG, California Cutie 310. I'm on Threads at California Cutie 310. And if you want to cash at me to show your appreciation, I am at also California Cutie 310. Okay. So thank y'all for rocking with me today. And I'm going to bring or get the next episode out sooner than later because I already did my notes. I'm so excited about that. And again, cuties, thank y'all for rocking with me. Let me see before I get out of here. Did not see my little before I get out of here. Portia from Roa and Latrice might be sisters or cousins. No, literally. No, seriously, they probably are. They got to be related. What would you say? No more luncheons. Letitia needs to seek free consultations and therapy financial advisor. Yes, absolutely she does. Yes, it's true. Carlos Network doesn't pay well. Hey, hey. He doesn't have to really pay well, as long as you getting paid and it's what you make out of it is where y'all need to be thinking about. You got to go outside of that. You have to get bigger and better than what the platform he's giving you. Okay. I feel Letitia and Glenn need couples therapy and individual therapy. It's hard when there is infidelity in a relationship and hard to push forward without therapy and tools. No, you have said a mouthful and you are literally like seriously that you I couldn't have said it any better. You definitely need that. There's no way that you can really do it on your own and feel good about it because like you said, you need the tools. And in order to get the tools, you got to go get the therapy so that they can give you the tools, right? So you can't expect to get different results when you keep doing the same thing over and over again, right? So let's pray and hope for the best for the Pearsons because they both know what they need. Now, do they need it together? I don't know. What I do know is, like my girl Christine said, they both need therapy, couples, and therapy solo. So, hopefully they hear what you're saying, what we're saying. Nobody wants to see the demise of anybody's relationship, but that's not how we rock. We don't rock like that, okay? So we want to see them do better, and I hope they do get it together. Please, Glenn drove a block away and came back right. He didn't even get off the block. He probably went to the stop sign. He didn't get off the block. But Glenn forgets he's been cheating and even a whole paternity test. That's a whole pill to swallow. But she also forgave him and they moved on. Now, they were in a better space last year until Amanda Gate showed up. So with that, I don't all I can say is Letitia, you have to take Glenn for everything that he's putting out in front of you. If it means you have to get away from him, then that's what it's going to have to be. And you don't have to just step out on faith. You have a village. You have your parents are still here. You have your son. Just because you guys break up or divorce, God forbid, but if y'all divorce or break up, y'all still family just because you guys share a son. And then you guys are going to share grandkids together. So it doesn't mean that, oh, now y'all don't have to never talk again. It just means you're choosing yourself over him. That's it. That's it. How is Glenn mad Letitia building an empire and money for their son and the household? Yeah, that's the crazy part because literally that is helping to contribute to the household. You know, Glenn just wants to be a dictator. He wants to oversee everything. And those days are over. and done with. Okay, we're in 2026. We are not doing that no more, Glenn. And I'm gonna need you to come on in here in the 21st century. I'm gonna need you to get up in here and do what you need to do so that you don't lose your wife. Because you're gonna lose your wife over some bullshit. Do you want to lose your wife over some bullshit? Because she's taking a lot of your bullshit. Like she's taking a lot. My girl just said it. Like infidelity. We had a paternity test on you. You weren't the father. Shout out to Maury Povich. But come on now. She's taken a lot. How much more do you think she's gonna take without breaking? I don't understand. I don't understand. But good luck to them. And hopefully, by the end of the season, we get clarity, or not we, never mind me and you, that Letitia gets clarity and that Glenn gets clarity as well, because they're in the relationship together. So nobody's going to hate on Glenn and say he doesn't need to get clarity as well, especially when his wife just told him he's ready to be celibate. So until next time, guys, thank y'all again for rocking with me. Until we meet again, I'm going to say good day, good day, good night, and I hope I see you guys in the next one. Okay. Thank y'all again for rocking with me. Don't forget to hit that like button. Bye, guys.